Hi, everybody. Could it be that a world-famous rock star has recently joined the ranks of Christianity? Someone who not only will rock you, but is also a learned man of science. Could anyone among rock royalty be such a person? Well, Brian May might be. Brian May, guitarist for the legendary music group Queen, recently posted a video where he plays lead electric rock and roll guitar on a worship song in a church, which immediately caused the internet to do what it does best: wildly speculate. The comments on the video are overwhelmingly positive. A lot of Christians are enthusiastically celebrating Brian, praising Jesus Christ, welcoming Brian into the kingdom, which is not too surprising. Whenever a famous person does anything even remotely spiritual, lots of Christians are eager to shout, "He's one of us now! Did you hear who's a Christian?" Say something good about God in the Oval Office or as you accept your Oscar, and it's confirmed. Saved, baptized, small group leader. The next time Fat Bottom Girls comes on the radio, Christians will be ready to impress their friends with, the guy who wrote this song is a Christian now. Meanwhile, 1 Timothy 3:6 be like, slow your roll. That does not mean that Jesus Christ is his best friend. Now, maybe Brian is a Christian. Maybe he had a legitimate conversion. The lyrics are worshipful and they're performing in a church, but why is Brian dressed like he's about to inform you of a side quest? Are we worshiping Jesus here, or about to summon the power of the Elder Stone? Background says worship song, but cloak and chest symbols say chaplain for the Church of Satan goes to Comic-Con. Sidebar, it's a pet peeve of mine when guitarists aren't plugged in their videos, because I know it actually sounded like this live. Practically every comment on Brian's new video rejoiced that another rock star found Jesus. God save the Queen. But that's stone cold crazy, yo. Let's not jump to conclusions intellectually, lest we be another one that bites the dust spiritually. Maybe Brian was worshiping Jesus. Or maybe it was just a gig he got hired for. Or maybe he just thought, I want to break free creatively.
Hey, more music puns.
Well, don't stop me now.
Oof.
Wait, your whole thing looks different.
Yeah. Hopefully the different background makes it a little more obvious what's happening when we do this back and forth thing.
Right. What is happening when we do this? You're like the voice in my head, right?
No, the voice in your head is you.
So you're not me.
I am clearly wearing a different shirt.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
We worry me sometimes. I think we all remember Kanye. Many Christians were ready to make him the new poster child for Christian music when he released this album. Yet, it now seems like his supposed faith was just a flash in the pan. That reminds me, the star of Flash Gordon, Sam Jones, is a Christian now. This is actually an original. My dad bought this for me when I was about 3 years old, so Queen is one of the first bands I ever remember hearing. Still got the insert. Brian May. But Brian May, unlike some people, isn't just some doofus proclaiming himself to be a genius, or God now.
'Cause I'm God.
Brian has a PhD in astrophysics. He literally studies the stars, so kind of fitting if he's the latest wise man to follow the Star of Bethlehem. He might drop a killer Queen worship album, a theological thesis on astrophysics, or he could endorse the Queen James Bible translation, which, unfortunately, is a thing. Puns aside, it can feel like we're under pressure to reach a conclusion that was another pun. Is he saved or not? How can we know? Well, let's dig into this together and see what we can find out.
This is an adventure. This is really going to be fun. Yeah.
Okay. Is Brian May a Christian? Christian. He's not a Christian, but let's try this. Is Brian May a Christian now? No. Queen guitarist Brian May is generally known as an agnostic, not a Christian. He often expresses a scientific viewpoint, stating there's no proof for or against God's existence, though he's participated in projects with Christian artists, leading to some confusion. Okay, so you can't always trust everything that AI or Google gives you, so we'll keep digging. Okay, here's a post by Talia Dean, who is the artist that Brian May was performing with in this video. And on her account on Facebook, she says, "Praise Your Name," featuring Sir Brian May, #1 on Christian and Gospel Top 100. Get it now.
My own dog gone commercial.
And there's an ad at the end of that video for her Christmas by Candlelight show, and that is at, it appears to be a Catholic church, and there's a link to her website. Maybe we'll find something there. Well, there is a picture of her on her website and links to the socials, and listen and follow. That'll take you to listen to her music, and follow takes you to her newsletter, but no real information about her or her faith. So let's keep looking. Okay, Brian May is not a Christian, but he identifies as spiritual and agnostic. Seems to be a repetitive theme here. So let's check the wretched hive of scum and villainy that is Wikipedia. Personal life. May describes himself as not belonging to an organized religion, but feels there is a God of some kind which we may know very little about. It appears that this is from a direct quote, which I always prefer getting in these cases because that way it's not just speculation based upon some song lyrics or something ambiguous, but it's actually coming directly from that person's mouth. Okay, Brian May teams up again with Talia Dean for Praise Your Name. Singer-songwriter Talia Dean is reunited with Queen guitarist Brian May for a new holiday release, unveiling the official music video for the Christmas song, Praise Your Name. Only the most epic Christmas track ever! It's a tour de force, a beautifully simple yet powerful and joyous song of praise for Christmas, written by Talia herself, Brian said. Dean also shared her thoughts on the release, saying, "This is going to be epic." There's that word again. "We've worked hard on this. Almost caught pneumonia making this music video. Did he put a hex on you? What was that about?" Brian May's connection with Talia Dean extends beyond this release. Last year, he appeared in her widely noticed music video for You Made Your Bed, further cementing their ongoing creative partnership. That kind of You Made Your Bed sounds almost like, is this a companion piece to Everybody Poops? Or I'm not familiar with that song. I'll have to look that up later. Now, let's take a closer look at the lyrics to this song to see if that can inform us of anything. Even though I think this was primarily written by Talia and Brian was just featured on the track as a performing artist, this might still give us some clues. But when we look at this, it seems like these are very vague lyrics. It does say, "Lord Almighty, creator of heaven, come in your glory and rescue me," but I mean, that could apply to a lot of different religions. So we don't know that she's actually praising the Christian God or Jesus specifically, even though they did say this is a Christmas song. Okay, so it wasn't conclusive, but it was informative. Notice that Brian called this the greatest Christmas song ever, and yet this song doesn't mention Christmas at all. It doesn't even hint at the birth of Jesus or the existence of Jesus. It doesn't even vaguely hint at winter-themed elements. How is this a Christmas song? If you look a little closer, we don't even know whose name Talia and Brian are praising. And given Brian's wardrobe, it could be... Similarly, Christians got pretty psyched up about George Harrison singing My Sweet Lord until they got to the part of the song where he identifies his Lord as Krishna.
Well, I think he's saved. I heard that guitar solo and immediately knew. Spirit-led.
Based on...
Vibes.
Ah, yes, the ninth fruit of the Spirit.
I mean, he could have said no.
He could have.
But he didn't.
People often don't when money is involved.
Maybe May secretly believes.
May. But publicly declaring our faith is an essential part of being a Christian. Jordan Peterson.
So we don't know.
We do not.
That's unsatisfying.
The truth sometimes is. Playing worship music does not equal being a Christian. In fact, I'm working on an interview with a guy who is an atheist who writes, produces, and releases his own Christian music. Subscribe so you don't miss when that one comes out. Even if Talia is a Christian, artistic collaboration does not equal theological alignment. I mean, Brian May played on a worship song, and that's great, but that doesn't mean he's a Christian. I've played Queen songs at my gigs, but that doesn't mean I have AIDS.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Christianity is about truth, not what gives us the feels. And as exciting as it can be to see a famous person doing something that might suggest faith in Christ, we need to be cautious and wise about how we respond. We don't want to give the wrong impression. A lot of those comments on Brian's video might be suggesting to him that Christians consider him to be saved, and he's already in the kingdom, regardless of his actual beliefs. One thing we can be sure of, though, that guitar tone is heavenly. You know, he built that thing himself. So, is Brian May a Christian? Honest answer, probably not. We don't know, though, and pretending we do doesn't help anyone. If Brian May ever does publicly profess faith in Jesus, I'll be ecstatic. In the meantime, let's pray for him, and remain hopeful, and enjoy the artistry without canonizing anyone prematurely. Can anybody find me somebody to love? Yeah, Jesus. Who wants to live forever? Christians. Read the Bible and you'll find out that, thanks to Jesus, we are the champions. And remember, eternity is on the line, and that lasts forever. I hope you and Brian choose wisely and keep on thinking to infinity.